Happy Friday. LeSean McCoy is in studio today. Excited about that. We'll talk a little Super Bowl. Maybe we'll talk a little Eagles, a little Vic Fangio, a little ageism in the NFL. Let's talk. What else we got? What else we got on the show? Trey McBride is going to be on the program. Trey McBride is somebody you need to have your eyes on, and we'll tell you why. Giving away $1,000 today. I love that. K-Kacha, very special edition on a Friday ahead of the Super Bowl. We believe we are 9 days away from Super Bowl 58, a Super Bowl 54 rematch. We gave you crazy numbers yesterday on both sides. I don't quite know what to make of the situation. Brock's a bit of something in my head that I'm thinking about a lot over the past couple of days. And I can't wait to get LeSean McCoy's. But in studio, by the way, in-studio guest is so fun and sort of rare. So we're excited and celebrating that he will be on the program. But yesterday, as it were, we got to hear from a bunch of the stars on both sides. Let's start with the Chiefs here. Now, with everything they've accomplished, with Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback, they're still looking to become the first team to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Guys, it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in 20 years. Of course, 2003, 2004 Patriots, the last to do it. The Chiefs had a chance to do it against Tampa, and they came up short. So we saw the Seahawks. They were so close in Super Bowl 49. That lost to New England. Marshawn, I'm sorry. They should have given me the ball. It's become an increasingly rare NFL feat. It's kind of cool that, they have all those patches all over their jerseys. If you were a back-to-back Super Bowl team, you should have a patch on your jersey. You should have a new one. That's my thought there. It's happened twice since the salary cap was put into place back in 1994, which I guess is good. There's parity more-ish. Somebody's going to do it. It might be this guy. And here he is talking about Mr. Mahomes talking about the team, their mentality, about pulling off a repeat now up against the last time they had and didn't do it in 2020.
The last time we tried to go back-to-back, we won I think we were 14-1 going into last week, got the rest, lost that game, and then kind of rolled through the playoffs. And it's never easy, but we played well, and it was kind of we're just going to do it again. We're going to do it. We're going to go out there and play again, and we got our butt kicked. And so this year, it's been completely opposite. It's been a struggle throughout the season, and we've had to continue to get better and better, and that's what I've always preached. But I think some of the losses kind of forced us to we have to continue to get better, and I think now it's just not being satisfied with getting there. This is a great football team that we're going up against. It's going to take our best football, kind of like it's taken the last 3 weeks that we've played.
Can he do it? And there is something to be said. It's interesting to me. He's talking about going through that experience, the loss to Tampa, and the struggle this year of having to sort of figure things out on the fly, adapt, deal with adversity. This is a much more seasoned and not that he was ever immature, but a much more in his own, he's in his bag in a different way. Not just I'm going to make these crazy plays and these no looks and whatever. I've been talking about it a lot in the second half of the season. We've seen it with how he's handled himself and themselves on this playoff run, and adding the perspective to all the talent he has. This is why this Patrick Mahomes is the most dangerous version that we have seen. It is this. It is this is all okay, and I'm a made man, and I'm going to sit back. I'm also I'm the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League, and I could win a Super Bowl. That's never happened. There's a lot going on with the Mahomes narratives in this one. Okay, so for the Niners side, we heard from a bunch of them. We heard from their coaches. And we got a rare media session with owner Jed York, who I love. And before I get into some of the gems that he dropped during this moment with the press, I do want to go back a little further, because seeing York up there made me think about how far this organization has come under leadership of Jed York over the last couple of years, several actually. I remember during my first year on Good Morning Football, when everything was so big and bright and crazy, he had just fired Chip Kelly and Trent Baalke, and he was forced to answer questions in front of a crowd that was very pitchforky. Take a look.
Why shouldn't you be dismissed or reassigned for the same reasons?
Look, again, nothing I'm going to say is going to be satisfactory.
Say something.
Well, nothing I'm going to say is going to be satisfactory. And again, we're going to be judged on what we do and what we accomplish. We haven't accomplished enough. I own this football team. You don't dismiss owners. I'm sorry that that's the facts and that's the case, but that's the fact. And I'm going to do everything that I can to get this right. This isn't about a business and running an operation to make money. We're making sure that we're doing everything that we can to reestablish this culture. Look, again, I think the most important thing is having the head coach and the general manager working together, battling for each other, and being on the same page.
Does that not give you goosebumps that was way back then? And let's really remember what was going on back then. This is a franchise that's had so much success, and they were going through like a complete drought and just a ton of tumult out there in the Bay Area. And then he says this, and man, did he deliver on those words, bringing on Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, having them work together, setting it up. I mean, they've proven to be one of the best head coach GM combo hires that we have ever seen in this National Football League. Since that press conference, the Niners have been to 4 NFC title games. They're headed to their 2nd Super Bowl under this regime. And during the media session yesterday, York sort of revealed something pretty incredible from a conversation he had with his head coach.
You know, last year in preseason, I think week 1 of training camp, which you have a quarterback that we're paying, I think, $20 million to. You have a guy that you drafted with investing 3 first-round picks into, and he grabs me after practice. He's like, hey man, we got to talk. And that's generally not a good thing when your coach tells you got to talk. Like, all right, what's up? And he's like, I think our 3rd-string quarterback's our best quarterback. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, well, obviously, like, we've invested in Trey. Like, Trey's doing a good job. Like, we're going to do everything that we can. We're not going to change that. And we're not going to change the depth chart. But, like, I think Brock will end up being our quarterback at some point.
Looking good, Jed. Looking pretty good. He doesn't even have a tie on. He's like he's a guy who's delivering on what he said he would. And that bite is so insane. I can't wait to ask Shady about it. The fact that Shanahan knew how good Brock was before he even ever played to tell you everything you need to know. That wasn't surprising to me because we have guys like Kurt Benkert who said, yeah, the second we saw him, we knew he was the best quarterback in that quarterback room. So what Purdy is doing, no fluke, everybody. And him winning the starting job also wasn't the result of circumstance. Jimmy G and Trey Lance got injured. It was so clear and obvious that it was Brock who had it from the start, and it was probably going to eventually be him regardless. The thing here is, similarly to the Chiefs, so they've got here in very different ways, this organization on this Niners squad is in such good hands. And they're flying everybody out. They're like lighting up, gassing up the jets to get everybody out there. They're spending cash. They got to cash in. Finally getting a Super Bowl that has eluded them to this point with this generation in this regime. And this may be the best shot they're going to have for a minute while Brock is still on this rookie deal. And then if they lose, what happens to Brock? Hammer time, I'm a little nervous. Before we hit the buzzer, Hammer, like if Brock loses the Super Bowl, is he for sure he's getting the deal, he's doing the thing, Hammy? He's going to be the quarterback in the future?
I mean, I think so. I think with what he showed
I think
during his playoff run.
Answer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think with the expectations that the Niners have, like you laid out, there's always, I think, that door open to something else happening. But with the way he's played, it's really hard for me to imagine they're going to replace him. You're going to hear names like Kirk Cousins, who has a history, obviously, with Shanahan out there this offseason if they do lose. Those things are going to still swirl. Those things are going to swirl around. Yeah, I think those things will swirl around.
It'll be
if they
wild.
don't win this.
But if they win, there will be no swirling of said quarterback names. All right, let's do
swirling.
it. It's time for Hit It. Hammer time. Dun-na-na-na. Dun-na. Don't sue me. Na-na-na. Don't sue me, YouTube. Okay, we're going to switch gears. A little hammer time here. Speaking of Brock, what went right for him in the second half of the NFC Championship game? And is there anything you saw that might carry over, I don't know, to the first half up against the Chiefs?
Well, for starters, he was able to settle into a rhythm and attack the middle of the Lions defense. And I think that's what's going to be the key for him up against Kansas City as well. It's the one area where they can be a little bit vulnerable because those corners make it really tough to get big plays outside the numbers. Let's go to the tape and start with that.
Okay.
You'll see here, they're in a heavy set, 12 personnel. Brandon Ayuk is going to clear out the middle of the field. Debo's running that deep cross in behind. And, of course, the play action to Christian McCaffrey, the linebackers have to respect that, which is going to create a void there. But this is the part that's special from Purdy. That ball is coming out of his hand. Debo is only at the numbers. He's throwing this to the logo, and that ball's already coming out. You can't anticipate or put it in a spot better than this. And I want to show you the end zone view so you can really see it here. Mm-hmm. As he steps up, you see the hole there in the linebackers. This ball is well out of Brock's hand, and Debo is nowhere in the picture yet. Watch how he's just able to put this in a spot and let Debo run to it. That is anticipation at its absolute best. And then let's go to the fourth quarter. Key third down here to try to ice the game. Kyle's in his bag. He's got the motion. He's got Debo in the backfield. He's showing everything. Somebody's going to get open, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the Lions account for everything here. Everybody's blanketed across the board. We'll go around to the end zone view. The right side of the line is getting collapsed by Aiden Hutchinson as well. This is just all on Brock to try to make a play. He steps up, eludes Anzalone, and then I love this here. With two defenders barreling down, he doesn't slide. He's cutting back across the grain and picks up an extra 10 yards to get them into field goal range. And I think that's going to be the other key here. I talked about attacking the middle of the field, but the Chiefs are going to attack that right side of the Niners offensive line, which has been a little bit of an issue this year. Brock is going to have to make some of those plays again with his legs, I think, if the Niners are going to pull this off.
I think Trent Williams is just going to be the entire offensive line and just put his arms out like a big Velveeta cheese block and mash everybody out of the way so Brock can do his thing in CMC, of course. All right, Hammer, Brock's getting some pretty good MVP odds right now. So you're breaking down what could work, what could go well. He's second to Mahomes at plus 200 right now. That kind of makes sense. Quarterbacks rule the world. But, you know, Debo's versatile. He's an interesting one to me, sitting there at plus 2,000. The shame.
Yeah.
What do you think? Can't you see him taking over the game? Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, especially with all the different ways that they use him. I think if there's a receiver that's got to, obviously we saw Edelman win one as a receiver, but I think if there's another receiver that has kind of the perfect mix of things to get him one, he's back there returning. He's they run trick plays with him throwing passes.
Do you think he'll throw a pass? That's my question. If you had to pick one person, and that's a bet over at FanDuel Sportsbook, who's throwing a pass?
I think still probably McCaffrey, if I were to guess. But we've seen Debo do it too. It could be him. But I think if I had to pick one guy and bet, I would pick McCaffrey right now.
Good luck, Spags. Thanks for the Hammer time. Matthew Hamilton up next. A good friend of ours, LeSean McCoy, joining the show. Did he boot Deshaun Jackson out? Do they not want to appear together until their podcast airs and debuts? We've got lots of questions for Shady in the building. Is Speak going to be not at Radio Row? I wonder. Yeah. It's definitely not my role. Okay. Great. Where's Shady? Thank you.
Yes, this is
now, what is this?
The interview.
Okay.
This is Pro Bowl and Make or Miss.
Give me this. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Precision passing. The Make or Miss is not on. Hold on. Make or Miss is not the shade thing with Pro Bowl, right?
No, that's not. That's two different games. So it's
what's the Make or Miss part of it? Shady!
Okay. What's the deal?
Oh, what's up?
Oh, I dropped it. Fumble.
Nice. You look so nice. Thanks for coming in.
For sure.
I love when you're here.
What's the deal?
How's Speak? How's everything?
Good.
We're gonna talk the new pod.
My man DJ. I'm gonna spit my gum out.
Yeah. Is there a good
We got a podcast coming out.
I know. When is it starting? Super Bowl? No.
Yeah,
After?
prior to Super Bowl.
What do you mean probably? What does that mean, probably? Who's running it? Through who?
My marketing team. His team. We
But you don't
come
have.
together.
Do you have like a production team?
We do. Is this live? This ain't live.
It's live-ish. Yeah, don't tell me now.
We'll talk about it.
You guys can put the slate up. Can you guys put the slate up? Thank you. Hold on, they'll take it off here in a second.
53rd pick, LeSean McCoy.
I'm running plays.
LeSean McCoy into the secondary. He's going to score.
Yeah, I really got to get it every way.
We'll talk about this later. My next guest, he's sitting right in front of me, two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time All-Pro, six-time Pro Bowl. You played in, I believe, 3 of those.
Yeah.
3 of them. You had some good games. Pro Bowls this week, and you excited? You can see him on Speak in FS1. LeSean McCoy is here.
Yeah, I mean, the Pro Bowl, I don't know now, though. They just give anybody Pro Bowls now. It's
Oh!
like, you know, it's a time, right, an era we had to actually go get it, go earn it.
Who doesn't deserve a Pro Bowl?
I mean,
this
I don't want
year?
to go to that, but this is like, man, it's like, oh, Pro Bowl, you want to play? You're not playing? Pro Bowl. It's like everybody's just getting these alternate Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would Brock Purdy be a Pro Bowl vote for you?
Yeah, Brock, I would give him a Pro Bowl vote. He did good this year.
Here, I watched your show, Speak, on FS1. Everybody should catch it with joy. Acho has a lot to say about Brock Purdy, a lot of opinions. You are sort of lukewarm, or like, you love or hate everything. You've got an opinion. What's your Brock Purdy opinion?
I'm just super honest, and people, they're not comfortable with it. Like, I think Brock is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Everybody's making this whole narrative, you got to be the best player on the team, or you got to be... No, listen. He is a really good quarterback for his team, right? And I can't fault him for having great players around him, right? Now, I don't think he's this superstar, top tier, top 5 quarterback, no. But in his system, he's good at that. And they're like, why does that matter? Why we got to, kill him for being on this team that has good defense and good offense?
So you're in the Cam Newton world on Brock Purdy?
I mean, even Cam. So I get where Cam was coming from. Like, he spoke about it. Like, he keeps going back to it, right?
Yeah.
And my thing is, Cam has a point where he's maybe not a game changer, right, a certain way, but he's good for his system, right? And Cam, I think, to a certain extent, he was good for a few years. He wasn't like a super great quarterback like that, being honest.
He was an MVP.
I mean, you look at it. He got 2 good years or something like that, right? And it's not against Cam, because Cam's my guy. I'm just saying, overall, it's like, everybody doesn't have to be the best player on a team or the best player for you to get your credit. I think Cam he had that MVP year, and then maybe a year after that, he was pretty good. But over that, he was just okay. He was all right, right?
So it's because it seems to be people love him or hate him. To me, I look at it and I say, how could you not love that he's a last-round draft? How could you not love the story of it? And then you hear things like, I don't know if you heard Judd York say that Shanahan came to him when it was Trey Lance.
Seen it, yeah.
So, well, I mean, you know Shanahan. What does that say about Brock
Shanahan.
that he said that?
Yeah, well, that takes a lot of guts to say that. You're paying the quarterback $20 million with Jimmy G. He's not that good, but $20 million, $20 million. And then you trade 3 first-rounders for Trey Lance.
Crazy.
That's not good, but, I mean, that's wild. And then you tell her, hey, listen, I know you're the owner, but the third string's the best guy. So I respect what Kyle did, because most coaches won't do that. They'll go with the money or the investment with the draft picks.
Because they were part of the choice.
Right. And another thing is, it's like, he's earned it, right? Maybe he don't have to go out there and throw for 350 every game, but he's winning with it the way he's playing. And that's okay. Everybody doesn't have to be a all-decade or all-pro players.
But when it counts, he does it.
For the most part, yeah.
And that matters, right? I mean, outside of bad weather, when it rains, that's not good.
I just think that, if Patrick, well, he's not Patrick, but if Josh Allen had a bad first half, Jalen Hurts, my quarterback, if he have a bad first half in games, right, and the second half he plays better, we gonna praise Jalen Hurts. I feel like with Brock, it's like, he only had 2 good drives. Bro, he won the game. Give him the credit. Game-winning
drive. Who would you rather have, Jalen Hurts, your quarterback, or Brock Purdy?
I think they're all kind of the same boat. I think.
That's high praise. That's a quarter.
Yeah, I think
so
they're the same
Jalen
boat.
and Brock are sort of in the same.
I mean, if you just look at Jalen had a phenomenal year last year.
Yeah.
This year, kind of up and down. There was doubts about him, and then he proved the doubt was wrong. I think Brock Purdy had a lot of doubts about him. He kind of proved them wrong. There's been some games where they talk about how he survives off the teammates he has. Jalen Hurts, they talk about how he survives off the teammates he has. So they're all in the same boat, the underdog type of role.
Yeah. If they're on that boat, what boat is Dak Prescott on? Because you're talking about 2 dudes that got to the big game, proved themselves. What boat is Dak still on?
Dak is like the Dak is a good player, right? He's another one. I feel like the team he plays on, right? The hype, the brand of the Cowboys, it's got to be, is he a superstar? He can't just be a good quarterback. So they make the whole thing of he's not that good. My thing with Dak is he is a good starting quarterback for that team. I don't look at him as this and that. He had an elite year this year for the most part.
Yeah.
But overall, if you look at him, it's if you had to take, I guess, one position from the Cowboys why they can't get over the hump, He's the answer.
Well, he can't be on the boat with Brock and Jalen. Brock and Jalen got there.
That's true. With the Super Bowl, you got a point.
He's not on that boat. You can't put him up there with them.
And they call me biased. And you saying the same thing? You keeping it real?
I'm a LeSean McCoy gal, so that's just that. You have a podcast. Congratulations, coming out.
25-10 with my boy DeSean Jackson.
Yeah. Were you mad that he came out and said what the name of it was on my show? Because I was like, I don't think you should be telling me all this. I'm sure you guys want to do an announcement or something, but it's you and D-Jack.
Yeah. I mean, we got big enough names, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Know a lot of connections. So
yeah.
We started with I Am Athlete. The cool thing is we had a great relationship playing-wise, right? We never had no egos. We always was friends. My parents is cool with his parents, vice versa. Yeah.
Cool.
So, and then we did I Am Athlete, and it was fun.
Look at you. This is the other night. Oh.
At the Lakers game.
LeSean, you're living a pretty good life these days.
Yeah, I mean, I'm retired. I have a little fun, you know?
Two-time Super Bowl champion. What do you want the show to look and feel like?
I want it to be authentic, right? A lot of shows, a lot of podcasts I do or I'm a part of, I want it to be authentic. And I want to speak from the heart, right? I don't want to be, catering people's feelings. I don't want it to be like being biased. Nah, we're going to be honest. And I want to have a conversation with people that people are not hearing, right? And it's not all athletes. It's entertainers. It's regular people. It's everybody. So I just want to have an organic conversation and be free, right? And ask the tough questions that nobody wants to ask.
Yeah. I remember Good Morning Football with you probably 2 years ago, over 2 years ago. We would wake up these early mornings, and I remember you saying, I love how you celebrate the players. You're positive. You're not trying to cut them down. And I said, yeah. And you were sort of figuring out, what do I want to be? And I thought I never heard a player talk about being so thoughtful with, do I want to be, I could go hot take, probably do really well. I could do this. You were really wanting to figure out how to navigate yourself, and what you came up with sitting at that table on Good Morning Football with me in our talks and breaks and stuff was just honesty. You kept just saying, I just want to be honest. And if I'm being honest and it's my opinion and there's fact, and I think it's been really successful for you.
And I think if you do know me, you know this is who I am. I'm authentic, I'm funny, I'm cool, but I am honest. If you don't know me, you're going to think, well, either he's super honest or he comes off as a hater, right? But my thing is, no matter what you think or what you guessing, you know I'm going to give you the real. And I think you can respect that. Like if you're a good player, I'm going to speak good about you. Bruh, if you're playing bad, I'm going to talk bad about you.
So what's it going to be like at Super Bowl when you run into some of these guys like Dak and company?
Well, you know what? It's funny. I ran some of these guys, right? You could just tell,
What is that like?
I won last Super Bowl. I was at... I seen Dak at the Super Bowl, and it was in the club and the environment. I know his agent, whatever. Okay. We're kind of at the same table. It wasn't like he ignored me. I guess.
Who's his agent? Todd France?
Todd France.
Yeah. So
and a cool dude I know from Fresh
So Todd France was in the club with you and Dak and LeSean. I love this.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, and Trent Williams was there. We was all hanging out, and it wasn't like a.
Oh, I would have just hid behind Trent and said.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't hiding. I ain't doing no hiding. But it wasn't like bad. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was okay.
It's like. Because the thing is, the things I'm saying
are true.
They're not lies. Now maybe I did get overboard and called him ass.
You called him ass?
Oh, did you see that?
Oh,
it was a fun moment.
So many things.
He threw some pics. I was like, oh, he's ass. It was just like,
Well, we'll get a taste of that on your podcast with DeSean. DeSean comes on my show sometimes. He's got some wild
I seen last he had them big dark glasses on.
I don't know what he does on any given day, but let's take a listen to one of the hot takes DeSean Jackson had recently.
It's hard to pick against Mahomes and Andy Reid for one. For two, I feel like Taylor Swift. It's a lot about Taylor Swift. I think they're gonna want her to be in the Super Bowl as Taylor Swift. So
You think there's some script writing going on?
As much as I want to pick Lamar Jackson because I feel like they've been on fire all year. I'm like, how the NFL? I feel like they're gonna just want Taylor Swift to be in the booth and they be showing her all dang day.
What do you make of that take? Kind of a weak take. Kind of a weak take out of DeSean. You're going to eat him alive on this podcast, I think.
See, that's not authentic. D-Jack, 25-10. We do not want that. We want the truth.
What would the truth have been? He said he wanted with his heart, he wanted Lamar to win. Yeah. But then he said that Mahomes, with his brain, of course, because
I got to be honest. I was going for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid because of relationships, right? Of course. But the one thing is, how can you not love Lamar Jackson? I love Lamar Jackson. The whole thing about him having his mom as the agent, and I say this truly, if he'd have won, it'd have been better for the young black kids in the communities we come from because they tell you that, he runs too well, he can't be a passer, and guys like him, well, what can you tell him now when a guy that looks like me, runs like me, has my style of play, is in the Super Bowl, right?
He's proved everybody wrong every step of the way.
Every step of the way.
You asked how you could not root for him. The only way is if you cannot handle people doing things outside of the way you expect them to do it.
Yep.
But that's why you love him.
That's why I love him.
Don't have an agent. Go on. Sorry, Todd France.
Yeah.
But
that's
we
what
want
it
Lamar
is.
to succeed on that level.
Because they make it like everything has to look a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And you look at Lamar, the first thing they said was, well, man, can't take him. He has to be a running back. Can't take him. He might be a quarterback or a wide receiver. No, he's a quarterback. He's been good in high school. He's been great in college, right? He's been great in the NFL. Just has to get that Super Bowl so we can really...
It's on the coaching staff, too. They needed to, and I like Baltimore, but they needed to run the ball a little more.
For sure. They're a running team.
They were. It was weird. Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about, by the way, my hot take, that was Deshaun's. Usher's going to be like a top 5 Super Bowl halftime show of all time. That's my hot take.
That's Usher. Ain't no wrong. That's Usher. Ain't no wrong with that.
I feel like nobody's talking about this Super Bowl with Usher. Nobody.
That is true.
Everybody's talking about Taylor, everybody, whatever. Like, obviously, the one in LA killed it, but I feel like nobody's expecting much out of Usher, and I think he's going to shut it down.
I wonder why that is. It's Usher we talking about here. Why that is.
He's got so many good.
I love Usher, though. He got a lot of hits. Even he has that thing in Vegas he used to have, right? Everybody was dying to go there to just watch him perform.
I'm excited to see it. Okay, I want to ask you about the Eagles because we had this. Did you see this thing about Vic Fangio?
I seen it.
So he's your DC now, obviously, but he was in Miami, and there was some sort of like, he didn't like the nightlife, or there's something going on in Miami. When you heard this, did you hear this?
Nah.
Okay, so he was basically saying he was not enjoying that the players were enjoying the Miami nightlife too much, and he wasn't having it. When you hear a story like that,
in them streets.
But I always hear Miami. Is that a real vulnerability for players down there in Miami? Yeah. In your experience?
Think about this though. Hell yeah, they're gonna have the same issue in Vegas. I can't imagine playing over there. You making millions of dollars, you young, you 25, 23.
Well, you were in Philly. You drove to Atlantic City, I'm sure.
You know I did, right? I know. I would, and this was in my prime.
Wawa.
I would have a game, then go straight down Atlantic City with the boys, and then take a.
What is it, an hour and a half?
Yeah, about an hour.
Oh my God.
We go to New York City, so I get what he's saying. I mean, it's Miami. I remember when I was playing with the Bills, and we would play Miami. This is when Rex Ryan was the coach. He said, fellas, you go out there, you kick some tail, you win this game, you can stay in Miami till Wednesday. We look around, I said, look, all the young boys, let's have a meeting. Y'all get in y'all film room, y'all get y'all studying, y'all know what y'all doing, let's win this game, because I'm trying to be in these streets.
So that's how to motivate players. It's a bigger question. I obviously wanted those fun stories out of you. That's why I asked you this, and you completely delivered. But you look at Vic Fangio, you've got, you hate Belichick. I know.
I don't hate Belichick.
I'm kidding. You make the case that he's 70 plus, that he can't relate to players. Vic Fangio, we're in this world where these older, like the Winks, they're getting put out. They're getting phased out of the game. Right. Is Vic Fangio going to be able to relate to the players in that Philly locker room?
I don't know him that well, so I can't speak on that. And the players I do know that were coached under him, I didn't ever ask. But I will say this though, it's a reason why a lot of the older coaches are moving out and they're hiring younger and younger and younger, because the younger coaches, they can relate and they're being successful. You look at Kyle Shanahan, right? And the guys he came from that tree with the Washington Redskins at the time.
McVay and all them.
McVay, all them guys, right? Like Floor, all them. They young dudes that's successful, that take pride in winning games. And the one thing about Andy Reid, what makes him so special and one of the best coaches to ever coach this game, obviously he's super smart, but he can relate. When I was with him in Philadelphia, he was a cool dude. He was fair, he was tough, but he also lets your personality show. That's one of his sayings. Every game he says, hey guys, play hard, but let your personality show. I get with him maybe 10 years later, 9 years, 8 years later, something like that, with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. He was a little different. Same guy, but it's different. And he had to adjust to the younger crowd. The younger crowd is different now, a little more sensitive, a little more entitled, but he finds a way to still be tough and coach you well, but I can relate. So now, Andy Reid, if you watch him, he's 70, so around how old he is, he's not young. But he's in there, they winning.
He's what, 60?
He's dancing, he's having fun. His wife Miss Reed is an amazing woman. Like, so all these things matter.
He's 65.
Yeah, all these things. Compared to like a Belichick, not the, but.
Well, Belichick, Carroll seems to be like somebody who could relate to players.
Yeah.
But so relating to players.
Best of both worlds.
Relating to players is maybe more important than some people think.
Yeah, and then Andy's a guy that he's gonna give you a second chance. People didn't want to take Michael Vick, right? After the dogfighting thing. And Andy Reid did. He knows how important it is to, hey, listen, who am I to judge somebody, right? He made a mistake, he paid for it. Let's give him a second chance. A lot of
That's why he's
coaches,
special.
they're not doing that. That's why he's a special coach.
This week I had A.J. Brown and Devontae
My boys.
Smith. They were very quiet. It was the most awkward interview of my life.
They were quiet?
They were quiet. They were trolling
Next time,
me. They
call
didn't
me, and I'm going to get the best out of them.
I needed you here. I was like, it was a whole thing. But we talked about expectations for their new offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. And here, Devontae does not say a lot, but this went off for some reason. Take a look. Okay, if you could have one wish and say, Kellen Moore, this is what I need for next season. This is what I want you to bring into this locker room, bring to this offense. What would that be?
Just let us do what we do.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
like anybody else saying, just give us the ball.
What are they saying? Translate.
Listen,
that for me.
I guess it looks like they don't want to say what they want to say.
Tell me what they want to say.
I don't know. I can't. But this is what I will do. I'm gonna make a text to my boys.
You always text. Last time you were here, you were texting Howie Roseman.
And he texted you back. He told you. He told you that. So, I think our issue is just be on the same page. Like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. That's an amazing combination, right? And then you got Jalen Hurts. I think that we need to simplify the game for Jalen Hurts, right? I think once you get paid, everybody expects you just to be this superhero. And then look at a guy like Brock Purdy, even a guy like Dak. Like, they simplify the game and make it easier for him. We should do that. We got the talent to do it.
So is that a Brian Johnson smile? The faces they're making. Like, let us do what we do. It's almost like, are you saying give us the ball more? I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, I would take it as, I think Jalen needs to play better, right? Which they can't say that. I can say that.
Yeah, I didn't ask. After that, I didn't ask about Jalen.
Jalen's an elite player. We need him to play better, right? The way you play in Super Bowl, the way we paid you, we need that. And I think also the coordinator. We need you to simplify the game plan and get these guys the ball.
We're going to take a
break. That's what I'm thinking.
We're going to take, I don't know, you text them in this break. I do want to ask you before we go the comments from Micah Parsons. He has
he's from Harrisburg, you know that, right?
He's what?
We're from the same hometown.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Are you guys friends?
We cool,
Can you be friends? I don't know how that works.
We cool, yeah.
He has a podcast, The Edge Podcast, and here were his words.
My boy, man.
At the end of the day, we were just outperformed, out-schemed. They had an answer for everything. People saying, well, why ain't you go to linebacker? Guess what? The packages are in for me to go to linebacker. I can only play what it's called. I'm not putting out personnel. I've even told multiple players, coaches, that I'm very fine playing linebacker. And playoffs, if that's what y'all want me to do, I just want to win.
I mean, is that not...
No.
At who? He's saying they're out-coached.
Yeah, they were out-coached. They were out-coached, they were outplayed, a lot of things. And Dan Quinn, I think, is excellent. Defense coordinator. But, I mean, this is not saying it's an excuse, but the same calls he's been making all year, he wasn't playing linebacker all year. Michael Parsons is a phenomenal player, and I think Dan Quinn has done a good job with that defense. Just wasn't their day. The main common factor that we keep noticing why they keep losing, it ain't Parsons, it ain't defense. You know what it is.
It's not, I mean, that defense got.
What about the main reason?
McCarthy?
No.
Dak Prescott?
Ding, ding, ding.
So what would a roster improvement look like? Like, is there a world where this roster improves without Dak Prescott?
Man, that roster's great.
So who would you put in there that's like, all right, we're going. Now we're going. Kirk Cousins? Russell Wilson?
I can see Kurt over there. I think Kurt and Dak's kind of the same guy, right?
But so
the thing is, in the primetime game, I need you to produce. I don't need you to give me picks. I don't need you to give me pick sixes. Right? Because you got to come back from that. I'm being serious.
We don't need that.
I need you to play an efficient game. The whole year he played elite football, MVP caliber football, right? That's why he was in the conversation.
Yeah.
I need that same thing in the playoffs. Too many times we see the same results in the playoffs. Good season, playoffs, you throw picks, we lose. Last year, same thing. You throw picks, we lose.
I'm surprised.
I can't make this up.
I'm surprised Jerry doesn't have it in him to what it is about Jerry that he's not like McCarthy by. Or
you don't like McCarthy? I like McCarthy.
Not that I don't like McCarthy. I think that he hasn't gotten them where they need to go. And if you're Jerry Jones, how many more chances are you going to get at this thing?
Okay, so
I don't think I'm hesitant. I don't think he'll make a change at quarterback. Do you?
He said they wouldn't. He said.
So I just think
he said we go as for his last interview.
I admire the loyalty, but at a certain point, like you want, like, doesn't he want to shake the whole tree?
I mean, I don't know if he cares though, because his last interview he said, "Hey, we're only going to go as far as Dak Prescott takes us, and where we stopped is where he stopped or where he took us to, and that was that was a divisional game. Divisional game they lost, right? So you took us there and we lost. So if you're saying this player is going to take us to the promised land, or this quarterback's going to take us where we need to go, and every year you end at this stop,
yeah.
What are you telling your team? What are you telling your fans? What are you telling yourself? I can't make this up.
I can't.
You see what I'm saying?
I can't make this. We're gonna take a break here, and we're gonna go into the mind of Andy Reid. You know Andy Reid better than anyone. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get some story times out of Shady. Can you text Devontae Smith, please, and AJ Brown and ask them why they were so? I don't even know what they were. They were like.
I told you what it was.
They were quiet. Well, AJ's a talker, and Devontae isn't. So then it's hard to balance that. But they were. It was an awkward interview. It was very funny. But I love them both.
Yeah.
But I had to ask him crazy questions because there was a whole AJ Brown getting traded thing. Did you see that?
He ain't getting traded.
I know.
But
I had to ask him so he could say that. But then he wasn't like, no, I'm not getting traded. He was like, I don't know. And I'm like, why are you saying I don't know?
The thing is, like, I mean, he's special, but I guess they'll always protect. Is this live?
Yeah, and we're on YouTube. Yeah, you can slate it. Sorry, bye, YouTube. Grown-ups have to talk. Once the Pro Bowl stopped being in Hawaii, LeSean stopped going. But do you remember any of these? This is 2017.
Yeah, I remember that. I was out of shape, having a good time, a lot of drinks, had a lot of fun.
You're lying. You said I scored a touchdown in the Pro Bowl. You don't even remember scoring a touchdown in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, because I only went to I had
three of six
Pro Bowls. I didn't really go to them.
You played in 3. I imagine on very little sleep.
Played in
3. We did the research. You scored a touchdown in 1. Let's tear apart the Pro Bowl a little bit. It was better when it was in Hawaii. Now they've got these skills competitions. No, we love them, of course, and it'll be a lot of fun. You have Peyton and Eli out there doing their thing. We had these skills competition last night, so we thought we could play a little shade or no shade animation, and you tell me what you think about these. First up, we have the precision passing event with Baker Mayfield. What do you make of? Let's see it. Do we have it?
Baker made the Pro Bowl?
Baker. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Baker made. He won the NFC South.
I mean,
what do you make of this precision passing? We're Baker fans on this show.
I'm not. I like Baker. He's cool.
What boat is he on?
He got some great commercials.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
All right. How would you do in this? Could you throw?
I would do good.
You would throw better than Baker?
I mean, I won't say that. He's a starting quarterback.
Okay, next up we have the catch competition. So this is Puka Nacua. I'm sure you've watched him all season long. He's catching a football on a wakeboard.
He catch it? Oh, he got hands though.
Did he catch it? I didn't even see.
He caught that. He need that. Yeah.
Would you do this?
Yeah, I probably would have, like, went off that rant and called it.
Is this something you would try?
Yes.
Really? All right, Shady. We got to get you back in the Pro Bowl. Next up, we're giving some love to the O-line. This is Snapshots. And Jason Kelce hitting a 5-pointer.
That's my boy right there.
Did he get it?
Come on, you know Kelce's gonna get that.
What's the team gonna be like without him?
He coming back.
You think he's coming back?
Yeah.
Why?
We love it. And we love him.
You don't think he'll leave? Okay, all right, Jason, you heard it here first. Why don't you text Jason and ask him
He's a Swiftie.
what's happening? He's a Swiftie. Are you a Swiftie?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you're like, I'm not dumb. Then we have the Pro Bowl closest to the pin competition. So this is hitting the hole of the Pro Bowl with a whole new meaning.
Who's that right there?
Who is that? I don't know. Who is that? Do we even know?
They let anybody the Pro Bowl now, though.
What does that mean?
I don't like it because they're going to try to, discredit my Pro Bowls, man, after a while.
Well, you don't even remember your Pro Bowls, so.
This is what I will say.
But you like that 6-time Pro Bowler, LeSean McCoy. You like that, don't you?
And none of them was an alternate, not one.
Then there was the AFC versus NFC dodgeball competition. Who do you think's the best dodgeball player in the NFL? Who would be the best?
CeeDee Lamb look good.
Yeah,
he's good in football. He's good in.
I can't believe how good he is.
That boy's talented.
That last game. What happened?
He's a beast.
Okay, so this was the Pro Bowl skills competition. There we have it.
I can see Parsons being good at this game too.
Why?
He's just a freak athlete.
Who's like the most athletic person in the NFL, in your opinion? Micah?
Trent Williams.
Trent's crazy.
Trent's amazing. He's old, still fast, can run, still strong.
I'll be sad if they don't win.
I like. Would you consider Debo an athlete? He could play every position. Running back, wide receiver.
Yeah, he's out there on returns. He could throw the ball.
I think he's super athletic. I think Tyreek Hill.
How does this game go? Super Bowl 58. I know you have, Andy Reid, we'll get to that in a second, but how does it go?
I'm going to say the same thing I've been telling everybody for the last 3 weeks. The Bills should beat the Chiefs. The Ravens should beat the Chiefs.
I mean.
The Niners should beat all better teams. They should beat the Chiefs. But you never bet against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in this era.
Yes.
In this era, you never bet against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
And you think they're going to get it done?
I'm putting $100,000 on it.
With the
I've been hit the last 3.
Are you legitimately putting $100,000 on it?
The last three Super Bowls, I've hit.
$100,000 bets?
I'm betting it.
Are you
25
insane?
cents.
$100,000?
Hey, I did good for myself.
Can I be your assistant, please? What?
I'm betting it on the Chiefs. I'm going with Big Red, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes. Can't bet against them.
You just flexed on Deshaun Jackson
I'm not flexing.
hard. No, Deshaun came on our show and I said, "What?" He goes, "I lost a lot of money." And I said, "What did you lose?" And I said, "Like a used Honda, like that kind of a thing, like a $20,000." And he was like, "Something around that."
I'm a gamer there.
You're gonna do $100,000.
Deshaun's your boy, right?
Jackson?
Yeah. He owes me money.
Why?
I mean, he'll answer your call. He's not answering my call right now. Hey, Deshaun, I need my money.
Okay, are we not doing the podcast then?
Yeah.
Okay. I never know with you guys. I don't want anything to do with it. I want everybody to get along. Okay, we're going to the Super Bowl. Gronk is going to attempt a field goal in front of millions of people. Do you think he makes or misses it?
Oh, he makes it. And with the Bucks, my last year, it was his last year.
Yeah.
Or my last year, I played with him in 2020. He kicked field goals.
What do you mean he kicked field goals?
Like in practice and stuff like that.
Just for fun?
Just hanging out.
I didn't know he did that. All right. Okay, what are we doing? We're going to make or miss. Here, we're going to play this game in honor of Gronk, and Gronk's going to make it. You mentioned Jason Kelce, who's not retiring, apparently. Oh, we have these paddles. Make or miss. Look how good. Look at us. Yeah, Jason Kelce rocking flip-flops and a Big Lebowski sweater on his way to the Pro Bowl in Orlando.
That is him. That is him. That is him. That's my boy right there.
Is that good or bad? A make or a miss?
That's good. Make.
That's good.
It's close.
He's ready to go to Vegas. I feel like this is not Big Lebowski at all. I think this is the Hangover guy. This is Zach Galifianakis with the baby, right?
That's how he dressed. That's how he acts. He's the same.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, okay. Eric Bieniemy. Someday getting a coaching job in the NFL, make or miss.
They told me I was crazy what I said.
Never.
I haven't. Why would you? Why would you hire him? What did he do?
I don't know. CBS has confirmed SpongeBob is performing Sweet Victory to kick off Nickelodeon's first ever Super Bowl broadcast. Is that a make or a miss?
Is that Sweet Caroline? Sweet Caroline?
Sweet Victory? What the heck? I don't know.
I never heard it. I'm gonna say.
Are you a SpongeBob guy?
I like Squidward.
We like Nate, though. Nate's doing that broadcast.
Oh, Nate, I love Nate.
We love Nate Burleson.
I rep Nate.
We rep Nate every day. Okay. The Raiders are hiring Cliff Kingsbury as their new offensive coordinator. Who else got interviews? Chip Kelly? Got a couple. He did. He got a couple interviews reportedly.
For real?
What do you make about Cliff getting the job over with Pierce over Chip? It's a tough
like
one. You do like it.
AP, I knew I liked you, brother. As a player, as a coach. Smart move.
He interviewed Chip Kelly a bunch of times. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, but I guess he probably had. You know how that is. You
He
know
had
somebody,
to?
somebody had to. You know.
Somebody's cousin was like, I know him from UCLA. You gotta go over
So
there.
Davis, I got you.
If you see Chip Kelly, what does that go? How does that go?
I'm older now, but I would have asked him like, what were you thinking?
Yeah. Right. What were you thinking? And you should ask it just like
Because
that.
it didn't work. It was like bad.
Tom Brady and Josh Allen are playing in this week's Pebble Beach Pro-Am on the PGA Tour. Make or miss each of their swings. That's Tom. Tom's in better shape than ever.
Yes, he is.
Look at him.
Look at my boy.
All right, Alex Guerrero. Okay, and this is Josh Allen. And that's still Tom. Let's see Josh.
Okay, Tommy.
There's Josh.
Yeah.
Why are they wearing the same thing?
I don't know, but one thing, they're competitive as hell. They might be smiling, having fun. I know how Josh thinking, and I know how Tom is thinking. They both want to win.
We're gonna make that one. All right, Shady, we're gonna let you go. What are you doing today? What's on speak?
Probably Super Bowl talk. Who's your pick?
I don't know.
You know.
I think I really would like it for Trent, and I would really like it for Christian.
But what about, I love Christian too.
Like, I think Christian, weirdly, I know everybody, I feel like he wants it so bad.
Nah, he deserves it.
He wants it enough for everybody, so it makes me sad to not get it. I mean, if Shanahan doesn't get it, what does that mean? It's like nothing?
He's still a good coach, really, really good coach.
Yeah.
But what about the legacy of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
You feel me? We all about legacy and storylines.
The cool thing is, everyone's comparing him to Tom. Tom took less money. Tom was like, build the best team around me. Patrick Mahomes is the highest paid dude right now. We've never seen a highest paid guy, highest paid quarterback in the NFL in the salary cap era has never won the Super Bowl. That's huge. I'm so good that you're going to pay me, I'm going to win, and Brett Veach is so good that he's going to surround me with fifth-rounders like L'Jarius Sneed.
That's why you pay guys like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because no matter what can happen, we'll always have a chance to win.
But
Brett Veach, one of the best GMs in football, so I trusted him.
Howie.
Howie too. Oh, Howie.
Who would you have? Head-to-head, Veach versus Howie.
Oh, come on, do this to me.
Who's winning in dodgeball?
I love Howie. Brett Veach is my guy. We came up together, kind of, so, but they're both my guys.
I don't know. I have no idea who I think is going to win yet. I have to figure it out. I don't know. I don't even know what it's going to. The best defense is going to win, and that looks like Kansas City.
When you think about the game, you want to make a bet, think of me.
I would, if I lost $30, I would say I'm out of here. That's a pair of Converse sneakers.
Oh, listen.
I'm out.
A good saying they say, scared money don't make no money.
Scared money don't make no money. Shady's here, guys. Check them out on Speak today on FS1. They're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff with the Super Bowl. You'll be at the Super Bowl next week, and your 25 and 10 show is happening when?
Is happening.
Yo.
It's gonna be popping.
Be honest.
You coming on, right?
You don't even know when.
You coming on?
Hold time out. You don't even know when this is starting, do you?
Nah, probably like maybe 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
Probably
maybe a week after the Super Bowl.
You can see it probably like in 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
We're gonna have a launch and all that type of the promo.
We'll be back. I want to be invited. We've got Trey
Trey
McBride on the show after this. You want to know the Cardinals safety. He's gonna crush it next year. Make or miss. All right, you love Gronk. We love the tight end McBride. We're talking more tight ends.
Right, that's good.
He is good.
He's good. He's a good player.
He had a good touchdown against the Ravens.
Yes, he did.
You're the best.
He beat my Eagles.
No, we're good. Okay, yeah, Slate. Loved having LeSean McCoy here, but it's time to wrap it all up with my favorite segment that we do on this program. Every week, we like to find a cause that's, either headed or thought up by a player or a fan or a coach or a fan base or whatever that are doing good in the community. And we like to say, hey, we're going to donate $1,000 to that cause. And today, we are going to talk about Wounded Warrior Project because I personally know from working for the league for so many years that they do so much in connecting veterans through sporting events, in bringing resources to veterans to help improve their mental health. And last year, Wounded Warrior Project asked me, and it was so fun, to help give away tickets to current and former service members and their families. It was Military Appreciation Day at the Super Bowl experience, and it was amazing. Me and Zach Ertz got to FaceTime some fans and it was just, everyone's just joyous. It's pure joy and such a wonderful way to say thank you for their service. And this year they're doing it again. So Wednesday, February 7th at Mandalay Bay South Convention Center. I will be there, and so will Cardinals tight end Trey McBride, who's here for our latest edition of We Caught You, Trey, as you sit in your car because you're out there helping during a breakout season we'll get to in a second. But what does it mean to you to be able to treat military families to this experience? And lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it's just such a great thing. It's just such a great opportunity. It's such a great thing to give back, to have the opportunity to give back, to help these veterans that have done so much for us. Just to give back to them. It's such a great experience, and I'm so excited to have this opportunity to help a veteran.
Trey, it's a little closer to you, too, a little personal, right? Because your brother, your grandfather served in the Navy. How have they inspired you to be involved with Wounded Warrior?
Yeah, just, having a immediate family that has been involved, that is, in the military. It's so close to my heart, and that's something that I want to be a part of, something I want to give back, and it's something I'm excited to be a part of. So to have a brother that's been in the military, to have a grandfather that's been in the military, this is just so close to me, and something I'm very a huge advocate for.
It's amazing. And like I said, I think it's a beautiful way to say thank you, and it's all part of the NFL Salute to Service initiative, and it's in place, and it's a huge initiative by the NFL to sort of honor and empower, equip, connect our nation's service members, and it is something that goes on with all of the teams and all of the city, and there are over 200,000 veterans in Nevada where the Super Bowl is, many of whom don't know that they are eligible for Wounded Warrior Project's free programs and services. So we're so thankful to you for joining us, spreading the word a little bit. And you guys, by the way, everybody can pick up tickets with a valid military ID at the entrance in the Mandalay Bay South Convention Center for the event on Wednesday. Up and Adams is happy to support and be a part of it. We are donating $1,000 to Wounded Warrior today. So thanks, Trey, for joining us. Can we talk a little bit about your season? We have a couple minutes. Trey,
yeah, of course.
Trey, don't you be modest or humble on me. You broke out this year, especially, which is my favorite thing to see, like as the season went on. From week 8, do you even know this? From week 8, you finished 3rd among tight ends in yards, 2nd in the entire league in catches behind only C.D. Lamb. What clicked?
I think it was just having the opportunity to get on the field, to play, and to show the coaches what I can do. I had a great connection with Kyler. He was trusting me, throwing me the ball, and it was just a lot of fun. I was just out there making plays, and it was a blast doing it.
What was your reaction when you heard Coach Gannon say Kyler Murray is going to be the quarterback next year?
It was just super exciting, just to have a guy, to have a whole offseason with him. This year we only got to play half a season. He was coming back with the ACL. So to now have a full offseason, to be able to work out, to train, and do everything this offseason, to have a full year with him, I'm excited to see, the connection we can have next year.
I think next year you are one of my breakout players for next season. From the jump, I'll talk about it all off season. You scored this. LeSean McCoy, 2-time Super Bowl champion, goes, yeah, I remember that touchdown against the #1 Ravens defense this year. Talk me through this.
Yeah, that was a crazy play. I just remember in the huddle, Josh goes, hey, man, I'm going to throw you the ball if there's 2 safeties. And sure enough, it was 2 safeties. I ran the route. He threw the ball. I caught it. And then I was getting held up. You know, I thought the whistle was going to blow. Once I was held up, I was like on the 5-yard line. I'm like, oh, they're going to blow the whistle. They didn't blow the whistle, and I just kind of felt a surge from one of my teammates, felt another surge from another teammate, and sure enough, I landed in the end zone, and it was just a crazy deal. I'm glad they didn't blow the whistle because I ended up in the end zone. It was fun.
Trey, you carried the entire Ravens defense into the end zone with you to celebrate. It was amazing. Congrats on the success and everything that's coming your way. Thank you for your work with Wounded Warrior Project, and we will see you in Vegas making the lives of some of these service members a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. It's going to be super excited. We got something good in store for them, so it'll be great.
All right. Come find me at Radio Row at Mandalay Bay, and we'll get to meet in person. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. And we'll see everybody next week. Monday show here in L.A. Then got to go to Vegas, and then we'll be back, and my voice will be gone by Wednesday morning. It'll be so great. Okay, let's do this.